So after my dad left, I tried to keep the same relationship that I had with him. It was a good relationship. It wasn't the best one, but it was a relationship that I had with my dad. So I strived to do the best to keep it going, and it just didn't work out. Things occurred and like situations kept getting worse, more family crises and everything. I just fell kind of into a depression, and I wanted to kill myself. But after that day, it was just the worst. Like even with the relationship with my mom started tearing apart. It wasn't working, and everything just was bad. So I came to church to an encounter one day. I would sit down and listen, but I wouldn't really receive anything because I wouldn't understand anything. And I knew how Jesus died on the cross for me and everything, but I just didn't really. I guess it was like taking it for granted or something. So I didn't really understand much of it, and until the last night, I think it was Abib preaching, and he asked for the altar calling, and he called for the altar, and I went up, and he just said, I want you guys to start talking, and I want you guys to really speak out loud and start telling God everything that has been going on in your life, just everything. I want you guys to tell him. And I remember I started crying like uncontrollable, like crying, and just in a moment, I felt his arms completely wrap around me, and it was just like what I had been missing for so long ever since my dad left. It was that at that point. It was just, a father's love that I had been missing for a while. And so after I felt that, I said, I want to keep knowing more, and I want to keep feeling more, and I want to experience God, and I want to get to know him in a deeper way. I want to know so much more. So I started growing this relationship, but then I thought, a relationship, how does it grow? It grows with me talking to the person and me spending time with the person. So I would dedicate my times. I would have times where I would go into my room, I'd lock the room, and I'd just sit and I'd just talk to God. And it came to a point now like where the relationship is growing deeper each and every day that I talk to him. And I also said, God, I want him to know you just like I'm getting to know you now, and I want him, like a salvation for him too. And I want him to change. I want him, the next time that I see him, I want him to be different. I don't want him to be the same guy. I want him to be someone different, the way you've been changing me little by little, the more and more I get to know you. So, I pray for my dad always. I pray for him to get to know him, for somebody or something, him just end up in a church or something, something. But I would ask for also, maybe a chance to talk to him, and which I will be able to tell him everything that I've been experiencing with God and how I got to know him and how everything is changing in my life. I would pray for that moment, a moment where I'll see him in a store or something, or in a parking lot, whatever it was, and to just share what I've been living with God. And it just seemed like nothing. Like I would ask for a moment like that, or I'd ask for him to see him somewhere at church, or see him changed completely. Like it's a conviction in me that I know my dad's going to be saved, and I know that he's going to see him. Even though I don't know when, and even though I don't know how God is going to do it, I just know that he's going to do it, because God is just a supernatural God. And I guess that's another thing. We get so desperate, and we see how this world tells us lies, and we see how this world tells us otherwise, like other things contrary to what God wants you to know. And just to know that God listens to you each and every day, that you shed a tear, each and every day that you ask and that you talk, know that he's desiring to listen to your voice that day. And whatever you're going through, he wants to know whatever you're going through, but he wants you to open your mouth and actually speak to him. And just know that those moments in which you feel like, God, why am I going through this? Just know that he'll probably be saying, how can you say that this is the worst moment? Because, in the moments where you feel like you're tearing apart, it's when I'm holding you in my arms, and I'm holding you even closer into my chest and taking you in, and I know what you're going through. And it's just, the ending is just going to be so much more better. The ending is going to be beautiful. You just have to wait on my time, on what I want to do it in the way that I want to do it. Because I'm going to surprise you in just an amazing way.